They win their first championship since moving the franchise to Oklahoma City in 2008. They cap a historic regular season with a impressive run, though, yes, there will be questions connected to it. Do you think this is the beginning of something that we will someday call a dynasty? Or is this just they happen to win this title and we'll see where it goes?
I don't think there's ever been another organization, at least in recent memory, but maybe we could go even back to the 80s, that was better equipped to start and maintain a dynasty than the Thunder are right now. Okay, consider this. They have the league's MVP. They have their top 9 scorers from this year under contract going into next year. And over the next 7 years, they have 14 first-round draft picks. Okay? So the roster's intact, and you know what that chemistry looks like and how good it has been for them the last couple of years. And they still have assets. If they need to add something else, whenever that situation arises, they have the capital to go out and get it, whether it's young players or draft picks. So they have everything they need to start and continue a dynasty. Only time will tell if they're able to do it.
As you're watching them last night, just like watching them, you put your eyes on them, you see a group of young guys that seem to get along incredibly well. You hear their coaches and front office people talk about them. They all say the same type of stuff. And yet we understand the history of the NBA. These things get complicated. Everybody doesn't stay best friends forever. Jealousy seeps in. Ego stuff comes in. The history of music is littered with this as well. Like the Beatles are amazing and everybody's happy, but then everybody can get out of it what they want, and eventually that goes sideways. Is there a way to prevent that if you're Oklahoma City? Like, how do you keep everybody on the same page as they age through this? Because what history tells us is that's hard to do.
I don't know, Gary, because I think what they have there is organic. I think it's just the blend of personalities in this time and space. It works. And now I will say it does start with your leader. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was one of the most selfless leaders we have ever seen. To reach that level of success in their respective sports and then share it with their teammates so wantonly, so easily. Even last night when he got the MVP, he almost like didn't want it. Like he wanted Jalen Williams to share it as much as anybody else. And then if you notice, he then told, as he was on the podium there with Lisa Salters and he handed it to Jalen Williams and Jalen's going to give it back, he said, no, give it to everybody. Let them hold it. Because he wanted to share that. That is organic. That is not something you can manufacture. It's not something you can create. So I think if you're the Thunder, you just kind of let it play out as long as it does. Now, eventually, I mean, as young men, they become older men and their priorities change, their life priorities change. And for some of them, depending on what they're making right now, in a year or two, they may have an opportunity to make more money with a different franchise. And they may choose to do that for the sake of their family's future. That you can't help. But again, going back to what they have, they still have capital in the draft to go out and get more quality young players or go out and acquire veterans to come in and join that crew. Because they have so much draft capital with draft picks.
You mentioned SGA. You got the Kentucky shirt on. Does this mean something to Kentucky fans? Like, he's a weird player in the sense that I don't think he was John Wall at Kentucky or Anthony Davis at Kentucky. I don't even believe he was the leading scorer on his Kentucky team. And yet he is an alum. Does that matter at all to UK fans?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. I mean, Kentucky's going to take pride in anything we can take pride in. So, yeah. So, like, so much of the posts that you see from Kentucky fans about SGA, and even Cason Wallace, because he's on that team as well, played at Kentucky, is they throw up the hashtag BBN. Yeah. Like, yeah, he's the MVP, but he came from Kentucky. That one season at Kentucky, it matters to Kentucky fans. Now, for John Calipari, if he was still at Kentucky, this would be the biggest thing in the world. He would be selling the hell out of this thing on the recruiting trail. And now he's still selling it at Arkansas because he was the coach that brought SGA in and Cason Wallace, whole deal. But for Kentucky as a culture, you know, it's funny. Shanae Ogumike was talking to me last night before the show, and she was like, this is the first Kentucky player to win NBA MVP. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, we've had some great players, had some number one picks. Anthony Davis won it as well. But, like, it hasn't been as many as you would think based on the depth of talent that's come through in a while. It's like, yeah, but, you know, being a great college player, being high in the draft, that's one thing. But getting to the NBA and being in the right situation, that's another aspect of you becoming great. And SGA, we started with the Clippers and they traded him for Paul George. And then being around those particular players in Oklahoma City enabled him to get to the pinnacle where he is now. So, but as Kentucky fans will tell you, that foundation started in Kentucky.
The Gary Parrish Show, live weekdays at 10 a.m.